Want to learn English in the most fun way possible? You're about to hear a story that's wild, awkward, and completely unforgettable. And guess what? While you listen, your brain will absorb real, useful English grammar and vocabulary without boring lessons or textbooks. That's the power of stories. If you enjoy learning like this, hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell so you never miss a video, and like this one to support our daily storytelling adventures. For his first trip to New York City, Tyler wanted to do something unforgettable. He had a long list of things to try, places to eat, and landmarks to see. The Statue of Liberty, Central Park, Times Square, all of it. But one spot on his list stood out more than the others. The Empire State Building. It was legendary. He had seen it in movies, magazines, and postcards. Now he was going to see it in real life. He picked a clear day to go, not too hot, not too windy. The sky was blue, the sun was soft, and the air felt fresh. He grabbed a light jacket, his phone, and his little tourist guidebook. He arrived at the building early and waited in line with dozens of other visitors. The elevator ride up was smooth and fast. The floor number climbed so quickly, it made his ears pop. When the doors opened at the top, he stepped out and looked around slowly, like he needed to remind himself this wasn't a dream. The view was breathtaking. Skyscrapers stretched in every direction. Cars looked like toys, people like ants. He leaned on the railing and just stood there for a while, letting the moment sink in. This was New York. He had made it. He took out his phone and started snapping pictures. Buildings, clouds, angles, his own shoes, anything and everything. At one point, he tried to take a selfie, but ended up with more of his hair than the skyline. He laughed quietly at himself. Then he noticed a small open space near the edge of the deck. It wasn't empty, but it wasn't crowded either. A couple stood there, facing the view. The man had his arm around the woman. She looked happy, peaceful. Tyler didn't think much of it. He just saw it as another nice photo opportunity. So he walked up behind them, a few feet away, and raised his phone. Click, click. Then suddenly something happened. The man in front of him turned slightly, reached into his jacket, and dropped to one knee. Tyler froze. The man held up a small box. It was a proposal. Right there. Right in front of him. And Tyler was in every single photo. He had just photobombed a proposal on top of the Empire State Building. His brain completely shut down. Should he run? Should he apologize? Should he pretend to take a picture of something else? He slowly backed away, trying not to make any noise. But it was too late. A woman nearby had already taken out her phone to film the proposal, and Tyler's confused face was right in the frame. A few more tourists noticed. Cameras started clicking. It was happening fast. He stepped behind a small column and hid for a minute, trying to process the situation. He hadn't meant to be rude. He didn't know. But now, there he was, part of someone's most romantic moment. When he peeked out again, the couple was hugging. The proposal was successful. People were clapping. The woman was smiling, wiping tears from her face. The man held her hand and looked proud. Tyler exhaled. Maybe they didn't notice. Maybe the photos turned out fine. He hoped. He gave it a few minutes before walking to the opposite side of the deck. He continued his photo session, but his energy was different now. He kept checking over his shoulder, making sure he wasn't stepping into anyone's moment. After a while, he walked back toward the elevator. As he waited in line, he heard someone behind him say, "That's the guy from the video." His stomach dropped. He turned slightly, but didn't make eye contact. Another voice said, "He was standing right behind them the whole time. It's actually kind of funny." Tyler stared ahead, pretending not to hear. Once he got inside the elevator, he kept his head low, focusing on the floor numbers as they ticked downward. Back on the ground level, he stepped outside into the busy New York streets. Horns honked. People shouted. Life moved fast. But his mind was still stuck 80 floors above. He walked into a nearby cafe to calm down. He ordered a hot drink and found a seat by the window. As he sipped, he pulled out his phone and opened the photos he had taken. There it was. One perfect photo. The couple in the middle. The skyline behind them. And Tyler, smiling like an idiot, right between them in the background. He stared at it for a long time. Then he saved it to a special folder called Oops. That night, he posted the photo online with a short caption. Accidentally became part of someone's love story today. Hope they're not too mad. The next morning, the post had over 500 likes. By the afternoon, someone had tagged him in a video. It was the proposal clip. He watched it in silence. At the exact moment the man got down on one knee, Tyler was stretching his arm out with his phone, trying to get a better angle of the view. His face went from excited to panicked in under 2 seconds. The comments were hilarious. Who's that dude? This guy needs an invitation to the wedding. He's the third will we didn't know we needed. Tyler didn't know whether to laugh or hide under a rock. He decided to laugh. He replied to one of the comments. I swear I didn't know. Just a tourist trying to take a nice skyline photo. The couple who got engaged eventually saw the post. They messaged him. They weren't mad at all. They thought it was funny. In fact, they liked the photo so much, they asked for a high-resolution copy. Tyler sent it right away. They said they were going to include it in their wedding slideshow. He couldn't believe it. He had been terrified of ruining someone's special moment. But instead, he became a part of it. A very unexpected part. Later, he sat on a bench in Central Park and thought about how weird life could be. 1 second you're just a guy with a phone. The next second you're internet famous for crashing a proposal. He looked up at the trees, smiled to himself, and whispered, "Only in New York. Look at that. You just finished a full story in English. You picked up natural vocabulary, past tense forms, phrasal verbs, and everyday expressions without even trying. That's the beauty of learning through storytelling. If you want more stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for daily uploads. And tell us in the comments, have you ever walked into a situation you weren't supposed to be in? We want to hear your most awkward moments.